Good morning and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. Perhaps you've noticed that the number 40 shows up over and over in the Bible. 40 is an interesting number. When I looked it up, here's the first thing the internet told me. 40 is a composite number, an octagonal number, and as the sum of the first four pentagonal numbers, 1, 5, 12, and 22, it is a pentagonal pyramidal number. Adding up some subsets of its divisors, 1, 4, 5, 10, and 20, gives you 40, hence 40 is a semi-perfect number. Now, I'm betting that none of you understood that any better than I did. And sometimes understanding the number 40 in the Bible might seem like that too. The number shows up in quite a few places, and we're going to look at those this week for a specific reason. When I was growing up, most biblical scholars didn't give a whole lot of thought to the number 40, simply believing that when the Bible spoke of 40 days or 40 years, that's exactly what it meant. By the time I went to seminary, however, the understanding had grown that when the Bible referred to 40 this way, it meant a long time. It might have been an exact 40 days or 40 years, but that really wasn't important. It was a long time. Lately, the concept has changed again. Most biblical scholars now think the number 40, when it's used this way, is meant to express the idea as long as it takes. As long as it takes for God to act. As long as it takes for God's time to be fulfilled. As long as it takes for people to grow in faith or to get ready for what comes next. Today, our number 40 comes from the story of Noah. In fact, the number 40 appears several times in that story, but most famously, of course, is that the rains leading to the flood lasted for 40 days and 40 nights. You might understand that to mean it rained as long as it took to flood the earth. But then there's another number, 150, which was how many days it took for the waters to recede and for the mountaintops to begin to appear. And then it says again that Noah waited another 40 days, and then sent forth a raven to see if there was dry land. Now here's the thing. This is a long time. Imagine being on that ark with all that rain and nothing but water to see. I think it would be easy to lose hope. And imagine waiting for the waters to recede. Again, it would be easy to feel forgotten. And then imagine waiting some more and sending out a bird to find land, and the bird returns without finding any. It would be easy to feel forsaken. Maybe that's how we feel right now as the virus continues to assault our lives. This virus is seeming to linger among us, and we are weary of being careful, of face masks, of closures, of social distancing, of isolation. Perhaps most of all, we are weary of not knowing when all this will come to an end. We are experiencing our own 40 days and 40 nights of a flood, and there's no safe harbor in sight. How long, O Lord, we cry. And perhaps one answer is, as long as it takes. It will be here as long as it is here. And perhaps we are called in the midst of this to look for and to find God with us. To look for and find God redeeming the world. To look for and find the God who saves. There's one more answer found in Genesis 8. The very first verse says, "But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and all the domestic animals that were with him in the ark." God remembered Noah and all the animals of all kinds. And just so, in the midst of our weariness, in the face of our hopelessness, as this pandemic lingers, when we feel forsaken, when we feel forgotten, the message of Noah's 40 days and nights is also the promise to us. God remembers. God remembers us and will be with us. God is our stronghold, and God has a strong hold on us. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.